see. Floridian's here. Mr. Kevin is here. A few people will chime in. We'll get this thing rolling. Talk watches. Let's keep it to watches this time. There's so many watches and so many watch topics. Kevin's checking in from Florida. Beanboy checking in from the East Coast, Pennsylvania. Mr. Todd is here. Thanks for joining. I got a little. See, Tennessee Mike is here. Thanks for joining, Mike. Oh, we can start piling up watches. Anonymous watch guy here. Joe's here. Let's see. Minneapolitan here. Leo's here. Jeremy's here. Eric here. Kevin. That says nice Super Ocean. Raj checking in from the UK. Chris, Luxury Bazaar, wearing the Hamilton khaki. Haven't worn in a while. Jeffrey A is here. Edward is here. Tuxedo Manor. Michael, David, Nick V is here. Nate Dog, Matthew, Paul checking in from Australia. Gary checking in Canada. JJ is also in Michigan. Anders in Washington, D.C. Dennis, yeah, a bunch of people are flowing in here. Stuart's here. Cecil, Michael, Fed, and Brave Sailor. So, yeah, a few of you already noticed the bronze. This is like a boutique special edition. Bronze Super Ocean. Have to say, I am impressed. This is a beautiful looking watch. I wasn't sure how much I liked the new Super Ocean. I knew I was going to warm up to it, but this thing works in bronze. 100% works in bronze. Love the colorway. Chris checking in from Baltimore. All right. Speaking of bronze, it stopped running. I stopped wearing it, stopped winding it. But I have no patina yet on my bronze Hamilton. But I did recently just get the stainless steel Hamilton in. So I'll probably have to do a video side by side of these guys. Both great looking watches. Different price points, I think. But, man, you can wear these 38s, man, I'm telling you. You can definitely wear those 38s. So we got the white dial and the bronze dial there. Bronze on flippers. No, I don't have any bronze on flippers. Also, see, I got the bronze Super Ocean. I got a quartz Tag Heuer Aqua Racer in, also from Saltzman's. That's where the... Okay, this thing does not want to stand up. And there's too much of this going on. Okay, you just stand up. Okay, we have a Luminox. We got a lot of cool watches in. Got the Islander GMT. This thing just came in today. This is probably one of the GMTs, if you're looking at buying a GMT watch on the more affordable side. Hey, Mr. James Duffy's here. I would look at these Islanders. Mark has these price points all the way down to just below $700. And when these first came out, they were like $1,000. So I think he's pretty much just going to unload whatever inventory he has on it. And then I don't think we see these again. I think they were a little bit harder to sell because of the timing of the release. And, you know, it was on the higher end of his pricing. But I think... I don't want to like say, you know, fear of missing out or whatever, but this is going to be one of the Islanders that I think in the future are going to look back and go like, ah, shoot, I wish I would have got the Salida SW330 GMT from Islander, you know, when you could, because the prices are about as low as they're ever going to be right now. That's just my, that's just me speculating. Have this crazy titanium G-Shock in right now. I need to do the video on this one. Actually, I just added up how many videos I need to make. I have 30 videos I need to make right now. 30. Let's see, DS says, hey, Rob, any thoughts on the Casio Duro and replacement bracelets for it, or thoughts on your preferred Casio Oceanus? Hello, Mr. Canadian Watch Monkey. I haven't messed around with the Casio Duro much. I know it's a great watch. There's a bunch of mods you can do. There's bracelet options. You know, you're going to know more about that than me probably because you've been looking it up. And as far as the Casio Oceanus, um, I don't think there's a bad one out there. There's more affordable range, and then they skyrocket in price from there. So it's whatever you're comfortable with. Jeremy says his Hamilton Khaki Field Titanium Auto is coming. Very cool. Picked it up from Mimo with my discount. Very good. Love that camo pattern. That is awesome. The Islander was one of my favorite picks from Wind Up. I agree too. And there was 3 different colorways. And when I talked to Mark actually sent this over for me. We talked a little bit and we decided that I wanted to see the black dial with the Pepsi bezel. I thought it was a Coke bezel, honestly, but it's a dark blue up top. Nice colorway, excellent bracelet, just great quality watch for, like I said, just under $700. Have a Tiffany blue topsider from Scurfa in. Set that back there. A bunch of G-Shocks just came in. Now, I know I've done videos on these, but I think these are all sold out like a long time ago. So these are probably hard to get now. Hey, John's here. Thanks for joining. So those G-Shocks are hard to get, and I got a couple of those in. I'll just set those off to the side. Even have the Rubik's Cube G-Shock 2100. I like this model. I owned that one at one point. What was the chrono with the blue strap under the Hamilton on your Discord picks? That one, Nate Dogg, is this guy here, and it is a very fun looking watch. Excellent colorway. I believe it's a Seiko Mecha Quartz, and this is a, I can't remember, I always forget the name of the, is it Stratton is the name. Stratton Tourer, and it has like a, almost like a suede blue strap. I don't know if that's actually suede. I don't think it is. And I love how they mix match the tie on the strap. Just a great looking colorway. Nice looking watch. And I think these are on the more affordable side of things, if I'm not mistaken. But very cool, fun piece. I have this guy. I know nothing about this, a Gorilla watch, but at first glance, it's actually pretty well constructed. So I don't know if there's a following for these or if there's hate on these or what the deal is with this brand, but it actually seems like a pretty well constructed watch. It's got an automatic movement in it. Figure out here. Oh wow, that's just like the whole inner piece there is the hour, but it's done like a 3-piece spoke. It's really weird design. Pretty fun actually. Yeah, it's on the larger side for sure, but it's well built. And it's a unique design. It's not. Kevin, I don't know if you're joking, Kevin, but Kevin says, I think a designer from AP came up with it. I don't know if you're joking or not, but it's 44 wide, but it's a square watch, so it's hard to really sort that out. Now, super long lug to lug, for sure. I can try showing the Scurfa in more detail, but this is the 41 millimeter, which these wear small, the Treasure Seekers. Well, it says Treasure Seeker on the dial, but it's actually called a Topsider. Yeah, Topside Crew. Treasure Seeker Topside Crew is what it's called. Bobby Legg says he thinks some designers that used to work at AP started Gorilla. So pretty interesting. It's actually like legit. The construction of it is pretty nice. So, but yeah, these are on the smaller side. They have what they call a men's and a women's version, and they call this one a 41. But I think they're getting that 41 like across the bumpers. So, but if you measure, it wears small, it wears like a 39 because it really is. And then the lug to lug on it is a 47. So it wears kind of small in my opinion, but great looking watch and crazy affordable too. I think US price on those is like 225 plus shipping. So I think you'd be into it for like 250 or less. Nick, no, the Breitling is not gold. That would be insane. Um, I wouldn't put it past them to do it. It's actually bronze. Yeah, it's actually bronze. And it has a stainless steel case back that's bronze colored, to keep it off your wrist. Same thing with the clasp system. That's all going to be stainless steel with a bronze coating or like a gold coating on it. But the case on it is just beautiful. I mean, the overall aesthetics of the watch are just beautiful. I'm trying not to touch the bronze. They actually sent over a pair of gloves they want me to use when handling it, but I pretty much said, yeah, I'm not going to wear the gloves. I'll just wipe the watch down the best I can. If they're not happy with that, then I don't know. Maybe I have to buy the watch, I guess. I don't know. I would not be too sad about having to buy this watch. It's a boutique edition, and the price tag on it is a little bit higher. It's $5,500. I think there's a bronze 44 millimeter as well, but that's a 42. So also in the more recent group of watches, I call it the Ninja Samurai just because it's kind of like the Ninja colorway, but on a Clockwork Republic N-Link strap system. This thing came back in to the shop, to the show. Pretty cool watch. I have a Vostok in right now. Probably won't do a video on, but in my own personal watch buying collection, I did pick up a Vero Workhorse, and this is it's a limited edition. I think they call it the Hooligan. Is it numbered? I didn't even look on the case back. Vero watch. It's got a Miyota quartz movement in it. So the Workhorse series, they're all going to look similar to this. It's all the case and everything like that. But this one it's called the Hooligan, has the pop of yellow and even has that little smiley face with the XI there. I thought that was pretty fun. The Velcro strap that came on the watch, I didn't really care for, but my buddy Michael, MM10, if he pops in the chat, sent over a while ago these Zurich straps, and this one like kind of matches the case really good. So I put this on, and it's working for me. Here, I can pop it on wrist. I was wearing my Oris Aquis, which size comparison, there you go. Let's pop the Vero on wrist. I think I can shut off this heater. I'm sorely tempted by Tag Heuer Aqua Racer Solargraph, but what's okay. And there is the Vero. Kind of wears like a tuna, like a Seiko tuna, because obviously the case shape, but the lugs do jot out a little bit. They're not like tucked in, so. But it looks good. I wore it for like a day or two. I'm digging it. I'm definitely digging it. I don't think it was very cheap. I think it was under $500, and it's a destro control technically. So, and then they did that one in yellow. That's a nice little touch because that's how you activate the chronograph. And then this crown here, does it feel plastic? No, it's definitely stainless steel, but the coating on this is actually Cerakote. So it's not even a DLC or anything. If you're at all into firearms, you've heard the phrase Cerakoting, the process, and that's what this case has done. It's fully Cerakoted. It's super tough, and actually looks cool if it's worn in. But it has a bidirectional inner rotating bezel that you can just run with this crown. See if I can get it lined up, and then push that in, and then screw that down. Keeps it locked into position, and then of course the rest of the controls are destro, or on the left-hand side. So pretty fun watch. You know what I haven't worn? I picked up recently, and I haven't really worn it a ton yet. Is the Zen 104. This is the problem when you start getting so many dang watches. Is you struggle to find the time to wear them all, but this one here definitely is in for a while. I got to be careful to say, you know, keeper or anything like that. I haven't sold hardly any watches. Um, I've been trying to keep most of the watches just because I'm just building up a library. I can't even say inventory. It's just a library. But some of these aren't going to be, accessible to everybody or to anybody. But they'll definitely be able to go with me when I travel for meetups, and I'm working on the logistics of that, and I will bring them and people can check them out. Yeah, Pacific Turtle. I'm warehousing. Well, it's even beyond that. It's a library because I want to share it with other people. Not even the Orange Monster is a keeper. The Orange Monster is definitely a keeper. Yeah, the Orange Monster is not going anywhere. So yeah, quite the hodgepodge of watches today for the show. Let's see, I'll read some comments. Christopher, he said he's had the Zen 556 and two 103s. Love them. Ronan's, what am I drinking? I'm drinking something I haven't had in a while. It's called Salted Watermelon. It's made by Old Smoky out of Tennessee. Pretty pretty cheap whiskey drink or whatever. It's got an interesting flavor. I tend to kind of like it, but not very often. That would be pretty cool to go to a watch convention someday. Is Oris a keeper? See, I don't want to label things, Leo, as like keepers or flippers or anything like that. These are just the watches that I have. First of all, most of these aren't mine, but like the watches that are mine behind me, um, they're I have them now. They're just it's everything is a snapshot in time. I have them now. Who knows if I'll have them in the future? I'd like to, but all good things come to an end, right? So nothing lasts forever. At some point, I might not keep all the watches. I might sell them or whatever, but I don't anticipate me doing that because I'm working fairly hard to accomplish some interesting goals with the community and what I'm calling the uh yeah, Mr. Tube. Definitely the peanut butter and jelly is way better than the salted watermelon. Stick with the peanut butter and jelly. Anonymous is asking if I'm hiring an assistant librarian. No, I don't even know what I'm doing yet. I have to figure out a better way to store these because I bought another one of those. Here, I'll just show you. Try not to move too fast, but so I bought another one of these 30 cases. So now I have two of them. But on this wall, I thought about doing like four or six of them or something like that, and storing them that way because you can see them, But I'm the only one that comes in this room. So, and short of like if I do a live stream where I'm on camera and that's in the backdrop, then people might be able to see them on camera occasionally, but I don't really need the watches to be on display. I just need them to be quickly accessible and then, available so I can transport them. So I'm thinking of a different system for storage. I might go with like a smaller drawered, what do you call it? Almost like a tool chest, maybe, or if I can find some wood furniture that would have the right depth drawer that I can do, make like a grid system like this with this stuff. I'll have to make it myself, but do something like that, and then do some sort of pillows and stuff like that. So um, I'll probably figure out something like that, but in a more of a big drawer system, so I can store potentially hundreds of watches, or I have multiple drawers, and then I can itemize them, I can catalog them, I can do them in a nice organized way. I do like that Pacifica, and I probably will still build out that wall and add a few more of those wall mount, those 30 case ones. Mark from Long Island had a custom dresser for 250 watches. So something like that, essentially. But I want to do it differently. I have to do it the way I want to do it somehow. But I'll probably still do the wall thing because it just looks cool. But I'm trying to get a hold of the timely buys. I'm trying to see if they'll work with me. Listen, I don't have a problem paying $200 for those 30 watch cases because they're 100% worth the $200. But it's difficult for me to manage the expense of organizing this when I'm also still trying to acquire watches. I have limited funds, and that's really chewing into it just to be able to put them somewhere. So it's a challenge to say the least. Jeffrey, I will actually talk to Mark on that because if he has some ideas for the storage, then maybe he can offer up some sort of solution. Rob, if you had to pick, reading Ben's question, Rob, if you had to pick one watch out of your collection as a daily driver from here on out, what would it be? I don't like to play that game, Ben. I understand what you're saying, but that is that's not really a fair question to ask somebody in my position. I guess I don't know how else to say it because first of all, I'm going to bend that rule. I'm going to take that rule or that question. I'm going to twist it to feed, you know, to work however I would desire it because I'll turn that one watch forever into like 20 watches easily, and I'll justify it, and I'll probably convince you of it as well. But yeah, I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to pick one watch. Not going to happen. If I have to go down to one watch, then um, it's it's not going to happen. All right. So somebody sent me a text. Hold on. Greg sent me a text. He found something at Hobby Lobby that could work. I'm reading his text. I'll have to look at that. I don't have a Hobby Lobby near me. I'd have to drive a ways to get to one, but no, it's fine, Greg. I'm talking to Greg. He just said sorry to distract you. No, I can still look at it. I understand what you're saying. So I'll figure out some sort of system like that. But I wanted to kind of that's a good system, but I think that's the affordable way to do it. And I know I just complained about spending $200 on a 30 watch roll, but I also don't want to do um, an affordable mass storage collection. I would rather, if I'm gonna commit to a system that's gonna be able to store, say, up to maybe 500 watches, I don't want it to be made out of like plastic or cheap chintzy steel or anything like that. I want it to be either like really good wood furniture, or I want it to be like a legit, really good, heavy duty entry level tool chest or something like that that'll adapt to my needs. So I want it to be robust and cool. So if I do decide to show the room, you know, it looks pretty awesome. Let's see, Gary. Am I eyeing any other tutors? No, I pretty much don't look at any luxury watches right now. The only time I look at luxury watches is like when Richard at Saltzman sends me that bronze Super Ocean, and then I get tempted by that. Or hold on a second, I forgot to put up a whole bunch of watches. Hold on, where are they? Oh, or like when Nick at Exquisite sends me over like Bell and Ross, you know, a bunch of cool watches like these. Let's move the Oris. So we have like this copper dialed Bell and Ross here. We have this crazy Bell and Ross. Let's move this Stratton out of the way. We have this crazy Bell and Ross. That's the only time I really get to lust over luxury. Of course, and Kevin, I mean, Grand Seiko is actually inevitable for me at some point. I mean, this beautiful, um, uniquely constructed Oris is very cool as well. Let's move a G-Shock or something, and we'll set that guy right over here. I forgot I had these in too. And then even this. This is a beautiful dial on a pretty affordable, in my opinion. I know it's 1750, still a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not, but it's a Traveler's GMT with a power reserve indicator and a beautiful dial. Seiko does great dials. Let's get this thing running. And it's titanium. I'm assuming grade 5 titanium. They don't really tell you, but to get a nice polish on it like this, it has to be grade 5 or some sort of similar mixture. But check this out. So we have the jump hour. And that is also how you change the date down there. So the date is a small date down at the 6 o'clock position. So you'll see there, right there, it just jumped forward. And then, of course, you can probably run it backwards too. So a true Traveler's GMT on a beautiful Seiko titanium watch for 1,700 bucks. I think that's pretty dang nice. Let's put that guy like right here, I guess. We'll move that out of the way. Let's rearrange a couple things here. We'll put that like that. Something like that. I have more watches, but I'm kind of out of room. I'm already kind of out of room. Obviously, I have more watches. These, and again, most of these watches, not mine. Floyd says, I use a Craftsman tool chest with sliding drawers on bearings for part of my collection, works well. That's what I'm talking about, Floyd. So I just need to kind of go tool. My wife said I should look for like wood furniture or something like that, but that's like the female side kind of chiming in. I look in this room and I'm like, nah, I kind of want like a tool chest. I do have a tool chest in here, and it is it's a Husky tool chest, but it doesn't have a bunch of drawers. It actually has like more of a cabinet, and it just turns into a catch-all. I need one with a bunch of drawers, and then I can outfit it from there. Whether I buy some good foam and I do foam cutouts like you would do in like a Pelican case, I could do it that way, or I could do it where I grit it off either out of plastic or wood, and then I do I don't know, some sort of pillows, or I even seen the Time Bomb or something did it. I think he cut up pool noodles or something. Notorious. Where's my gold watches? I have some bronze ones. It's not a precious metal, but it's gold tone. Yeah, I don't have any gold watches. Weeby says Gerstner wooden tool chest. I'll have to look that up. Dustin Ray, what's up? Limited funds, no bueno. Let's see, wood flat flies used for artwork prints. Yeah, so there's there's all kinds of different antique or vintage wood chests that could be used. They used to store maps that way, or artwork and stuff like that. So Felix says, I love the Bell and Ross gray one on the middle. Looks so classy. Seems Bell and Ross getting more attention now. I would like to show more Bell and Ross. I think they're fantastic looking watches. They're unique. And even when they do this one where it's more palatable for most people, it's still uniquely Bell and Ross. And then they, of course, have some fun colorways. They even have some GMTs. They even have some divers that I think are in this BR05. Custom rotors. Look at the rotors. The straps are crazy comfortable. They're super flexible. This thing is great on wrist. If I get the clasp down, that's perfect on my wrist. So let's see. Why no gold? You don't value them as desirable collection? Because I don't have gold watch money. I don't know. You're kind of asking a silly question, my friend. Do you still have any Zelos? Picked up a V3 hammerhead today. I have a few Zelos. I can get a couple of them out. Let me grab them out of the library. So I have a titanium mosaic dial. I forget what this model is called, but I have this Zelos. I really like this dial. Fantastic dial. If you look really close, it looks kind of like bad quality control, but it's the way they had to construct it. So it's just a funky dial, but I love this piece. Full titanium. I think they're doing some 39 millimeter variants of this style of case with some really cool dials as well. And then, of course, I do have Let me go check the library. Hold on. I think I have. I have at least one more Zelos. Or no, I have two more. Hold on. I'm getting them. So here's the other two Zelos I have. I have this bronze one here, which is the Hammerhead 3. And this did go out on tour, so you can see the bronze is really starting to look good. Meteorite dial, great looking watch. So that one's really cool. And then another one that I don't wear very often, but a very cool dial. It's like copper infused graphite or something, and then it's a manual wind. No, Kevin, I gave Dane the night off tonight. Yeah, Dane, Celine Driver, was doing something tonight. But I have 3 Zelos right now. I'll add more Zelos for sure. The sad part is I think back, I was looking through all of my videos the best I could, which is difficult to do because when I post 1 to 2 videos a day, to scroll back through. Oh, before I forget, the reason why I was scrolling back through all my videos is I couldn't remember a name of a watch. I could visually like bring it up in my memory, but I couldn't. I had a difficult time describing it to anybody or the brand name, and it's Axios Pathfinder was the watch that I was looking for. Axios Pathfinder. Okay, so if you're watching this right now and you have an Axios Pathfinder, send me an email because for some reason, I got it in my head and I can't get it out of my head. I want that watch again. And I know they made a bunch of different, Anonymous Watch Guy has one, of course. Well, if you want to sell it, let me know. You may not want to sell it. But I had one and I sold it and I kind of regret it. And then there was even another one that came through the channel and I sold it. But yeah, here's that. Zelos Hammerhead 3 on wrist. I'm really digging bronze watches right now, so it's really borderline mean of Richard at Saltzman's to send me that bronze Breitling because I do not have bronze Breitling money right now to spend, but I want that watch. It's super cool. AA says, is Timex on my radar? Lots of cool releases lately. Again, there's a really cool, there's all kinds of cool new Timex coming out, but there is one Timex that I would totally buy again right now that I had that I wish I wouldn't have sold. And pretty much anybody that has it isn't going to sell it. And that is the Timex. And I think they even did a re-release. And I would be receptive to buying even those. But I think they called it the Midget. And it said it right on the dial. And then just a cool, fun looking Timex watch. And I don't even think it was a USA release. But yeah, go scroll back through some of my old videos, man. I'm telling you, there's some really cool watches I've done. Jeff says he's looking at bronze watches right now and he blames me. That's fine. I can take the blame. See, even when you look at the bronze watches, where's my notice? Hold on a second. Let me grab my bronze notice. I gotta find it. Where's that? Shoot. Was it down here? Yeah, okay. I have too many watch cases now, so this is a problem. I need quicker accessibility to this stuff. So my bronze notice. Now, this was my first, I don't want to say it was my first bronze watch, but it was my first more recent bronze watch pickup. And I'm trying to think, when was the San Francisco windup? Because that's when I bought this watch. San Francisco was April. I think it was April. So April of 2022. Hey, Chris and Erica, thanks for checking in. So in April of 2022, that's when I got the bronze watch bug. It was driving me nuts. And really, it kind of stemmed from another buddy of mine, Joe in the Badger. He usually goes by that name. He's got a LaVenture in bronze, awesome looking watch, and I loved the way his patinaed. So I started searching for a really cool bronze watch, probably going to be a diver. And at the time, I was still just searching. Notice hadn't released this guy here yet. And when I was in San Francisco, they released it. So I was like checking it out, and I already knew I liked the Avalon in stainless steel, but this Avalon in bronze, home run design for Notice. So I knew instantly right there. I mean, I was walking around the show in San Francisco wind up, looking at all the other watches, and this was the watch that was like constantly in my mind, to the point where I ended up just going back to the booth and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I want the green. So I picked up the green one. Another buddy of mine that was there picked up a blue one. Both great watches. So, and you can see I've worn this quite a bit now. I'm getting some nice warm tones on it. Larry C says he likes the bronze. Yeah, Larry C's got a really cool glycine in bronze, and he's built some SKX mods in bronze. But yeah, this thing 100% spectacular. Love the green and bronze just works so dang good together. Yeah, 100%. Green and bronze works. And Breitling knew it, and Notice obviously knew it. The blue one looks cool too. Um, and Zelos does some weird mixes too. They all work. But yeah, so and this is an aluminized bronze. So then now you start looking at the bronze watches. How much was it? The Notice? I don't remember. I think you can still get them, or are they sold out? I can't remember if they're sold out on their site. They were in the $700 range, if I'm not mistaken. But so there's different complexities to bronze, even when you're looking at bronze. Like you can see, I liked the polished bit on here, and I'm still trying to keep that shiny. Michael says data banks are cool. I have one here. But then you look at like the Hamilton bronze. I don't know what mix they did, or if they went a little heavier with the aluminum mixed in with it. But this thing's going to be slow to patina to the point where I almost have to force it or something. I don't know. I hope I don't have to. I'm hoping I can just wear it more, maybe in the summertime, and it'll start to patina. that Breitling is going to get watermelon whiskey sweat stains on it. No, I'm not. I keep it wiped down, and I'm not really touching the bronze on it, so it'll be fine. Let's see. Notorious says, "Do you have any grandfather mantle clocks?" Yes, I do, but we're not going to talk about that. Let's see. Cody 14MC says, "Is that the new Aqua Racer in the middle with the metal bezel? Made it late for the live." Yeah, yeah, Fed. It's $5,500 for that thing. It's a boutique edition. Is it worth it? I don't know. So I was initially the issue I had with bronze is I knew micro brands would often use bronze as a test run for making a watch, because bronze, the manufacturers will do a fewer case run. So they'll make fewer of them, like maybe 50. Whereas stainless steel, they got to tool up more. And the reason they can make fewer is because bronze is easy to machine. So knowing all this, I'm like, I look at bronze watches and I'm like, they should cost less. They're easier to make. Like, just from a machining standpoint, they're just easier to make. They're cheaper to make, the material's cheaper, all of that. So it's funny that you're seeing bronze pushed up into luxury, like into the Breitling, or to the Tudor, 43 mil. It's just funny to see bronze luxury watches and then for them to charge a premium. I do struggle with that, but the fact is they look great. Somebody asked if this is the new tag. I think it's a new tag. It has a price tag of $2,150. This one is a quartz one, and yeah, it has the metal bezel, and it's not a bezel insert. It's the entire bezel is done that way, so that's pretty cool. And then polished center links, newer style clasp. There's Joe and the Badger. I was just talking about. So really, I kind of blame Joe and the Badger for my more recent, if you can call that, desire to have bronze watches, and it was after looking at his LaVenture in bronze. Let's see. Nate Dog says that Super Ocean looks amazing, bright and new, but I'd be skeptical to see it dirtied or patinaed. Yeah, it's definitely going to change the look of it. I think they are asking if that tag is the new solar one. Oh, wait, is that solar? I don't know. Can somebody look up that? Can somebody look up that part number? I didn't realize that. Does it say it on there? So there's the part number WBP 1110.BA, because it doesn't say. I don't think it says solar on it anywhere. Let me look. Oh yeah, caseback has a sun. There it is. So it is solar. Well, you guys are teaching me. I unboxed this thing like before the live stream, and I was like, "Oh yeah, here's a quartz aqua racer. It's pretty cool." Blah blah blah. Yeah, I totally forgot they had done a new release of solar, and this is the new solar one. Yeah, that is one of the downfalls of me seeing so many watches, guys. I can't possibly know everything about everything, right? But yeah, that's the new solar tag. That's pretty cool. I'll be doing a video of that this week. Excuse me. I'll be making the video. I don't know when you're going to see the video because that's a whole nother problem. And I'm sure you guys are frustrated with by the time most of these watches you even see, it might be 2, 3 weeks before you actually get the full video for it just because of the uh, how much demand that is on my channel right now with producing videos. So, Raphael, thanks for chiming in. What you have might be a regular quartz. I think it's the solar because it has the sun on the back, like somebody said. So, Aqua Racer, Swiss 200 meters. It doesn't say, but I mean, I guess that's not really the sun. Maybe it's a compass. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's the solar one. Maybe it's not. I'll find out. It'll be in the full video. It doesn't say solar on it anywhere. But anyway. So currently, just give you a status report. I have probably about 20 videos banked. So like 20 days worth of videos. And I have, Mazel says that's the North Star. Blue dial watch to the right. Blue dial watch to the right. This one would be a Luminox, if that's the one you're, is, oh, James says the new solar tag is titanium. So that one's probably not the solar then. So this was one blue dial watch. There's also the Zelos over there too. But yeah, this is a smaller tag, mineral crystal. This is entry level. So anyway, I was saying current status report. I have about 20 days worth of videos banked, made, ready to go. And I have to strategically decide when to post those. And then I just counted up on my board because I keep a dry erase board off to the right of me. You guys can't see it. I'm pointing at it, but you can't see that even. There's literally 30 videos that I need to make. 30 of them that I know of. There might be more. So actually there is more because I just looked over and I just seen 2 other watches that I haven't done videos on. Yeah. So at least 31 videos I need to make. And I try to do like 3 a day during the week, and then I try to take the weekends off. So I might actually have to put a halt for a couple of weeks of watches coming in. I might have to just slow things down a bit because it's becoming a bit much. If I'm being completely honest, it's difficult to manage the influx of watches. It's fun though. I'll do my best. All right, let's see. Hey man, don't burn out. No, I'm not gonna burn out, Neil. It's not. I don't think I'm. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna burn out. It's just. I like hit like a capacity that I don't want to surpass. So like when I start getting to the point where I need to make 30 videos, I think that's like kind of my limit. I don't want to like take on like 10 or 15 more watches and be like, okay, well, I need to make like 40 or 45 videos. That's mentally I start to struggle with that. I have 30, I know I can bust that out. It's not a big deal. Don't slow things down, just push more out. Start my day at the office watching everybody's. I mean, I could do that. I mean, there's been days where I've posted like, 3 videos a day. So, will you have a donation process for the library I could send? So, James, yes, I am going to talk about that. I mean, I can touch briefly on that. I don't want to get too much into detail because I'm still trying to process how I want the library to look. But let me back up a second. David says, ever pick up a watch to commemorate any occasion? I have done that in the past, David, but I don't currently do that. No, I just buy at will. But so, James, what I'm initially thinking with the library is it'll be for my Discord members only. So you'd already have to have that direct access be tied to me a little bit tighter by being in the Discord. Then once you're in the Discord, I'm looking at potential options for like library cards, but that would include typically a donation to the library would allow you then to check out watches from the library. But I have to have them somewhat categorized because if somebody donates a cheaper, more affordable watch, then that would really only unlock them for that category. So I have to somehow organize this stuff because there's going to be watches in there that are going to be valued at, over $1,000. I mean, there already are. And if you donate a $50 watch or 100, $200 watch, that shouldn't unlock your accessibility to say $1,000 or $1,500 watch. It has to be fair and equitable. And it's somewhat of a collateral, but not really. I think initially we could call it kind of collateral and see. That's why I'm trying to process this to see what's really going to work. But I do want to make them somewhat accessible. The main thing is it's nice to be able to have access to them to share here now with you guys. And then also when I go to these meetups, people could actually come and put hands on, like a bunch of them. That's what's really cool. Floridian says, any plans for guests on live shows this year? Yes, I'm actually talking to Michael Pearson of Zodiac. Him and I might actually do. I don't know if it'll be live or not. I kind of like the live format because it's more difficult for someone to strategize their answer. They need to be able to like flow and be more truthful or real, I guess, the reaction. So the live aspect of that I will help promote that. And I do like that. But I also need to create some sort of format if I'm going to bring people on that are going to be kind of like an interview-ish. And I don't really want to call it an interview. I want to do it different than anybody else. So you know what I mean? Because like Michael Pearson, if you look him up, he's already done videos. He's been on videos with people, and I don't want to go and have him on the Random Rob YouTube channel and ask him the same questions that everybody else has asked. So Raphael says, where can one find the Discord? You have to email randomrobreviews@gmail.com, and then my admin, Tennessee Mike, will assist you with that. James, email me. So just email me, James. I'll talk to you directly on that because that's your might be a different scenario. So definitely, James, you and I can talk. What is the basement for the library? Floyd says, what is the basement for the library? For instance, will fashion watches be included for historical relevance and comparison? Think how it will appear in 20 years' times. Thanks for joining us, David. Actually, I understand what you're saying, and much like when you go to a public library, you might get books in there that you don't think are like, it's not like a novel or an autobiography, or it might not hold the same value that somebody else will. So I think to answer your question, Will there be like diesels or fossils or stuff like that in the library? And the simple answer is yes, absolutely. There will be diesels. There will be fossils. There'll be Invictas. There will be a ton of watches. So if it's interesting or cool looking, in my opinion, then it's probably going to get entered into the library. That's just the way it's going to go. I can kind of see merit in most watches. Michael says who blows or who blots. I don't know what who blots is, but I think you mean who blows. No, probably not going to be a whole lot of luxury watches. It's going to be primarily entry level watches all the way up to micro brands and even like more expensive micro brands like a Canopy or a Folio or Draken or NTH. I really want to go heavy on the micro brands and or the affordable Swiss or whatever origins you want to talk about, like Hamilton's, stuff like that. Bill says Hexa. I don't know what Hexa is, but sure. I mean, I think you guys can kind of pick up on the vibe that I'm talking about. Islander watches will be there, obviously. Notice, Zelos, Seikos, maybe some Vostoks. So a lot of these watches that come through that end up going onto the Sunday Fun Day, I could easily pick those up. But that's I don't want to do that because I don't want to just consume all those. I want to make sure those are also going out to other people. Nick V says, "What about tuna homages?" Yeah, I have a bunch of other Seiko homage watches here too. So yeah, 100%. Perfect price points on, in my opinion, the best watches. What about yeah? So yeah, there's not really going to be any like rules to what I'm going to enter into the library. There's going to be things in there that you've never heard of or care about, like that diesel. Most people aren't going to care about them. Like this um, Ella Elegantis or whatever. Like most people have never heard of this, and a lot of people are just going to gloss right over them. But I think it's cool, and I picked up one, and then they gifted me one on top of that, this Grinch one. So yeah, that's in there. It's just interesting because it's, I think, a high quality, unique piece that most people have never heard of, let alone had hands on, and it's a Destro chronograph. So I want weird stuff. I want weird stuff. I want normal stuff. I want entry level stuff. All kinds of stuff. Eric says, I think some of us would donate just to say I have a watch in Rob's library. And I'm not there yet, Eric. I don't want to solicit that, but I understand what you're saying, and that you're 100% right. That is potentially going to be a good source for library watches. Um, but I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to formulate what this is going to look like, how I'm going to use it, how I'm going to do it. My buddy Greg, Saeed just texted from Qatar. That's awesome. But my buddy Greg just sent me over Invicta. Get this, Invicta makes, Anisha's checking in from New Hampshire. Looks like Yubo. So anyway, Greg sent over as a gift to me to the channel an Invicta. I'm going to try to show it on camera later on. Travel case. So it looks like a travel suitcase, almost like a Pelican case, and it holds 50 watches. Now I'm going to do a couple of modifications to it to make sure the watches don't get scratched up and stuff like that. But it holds 50 watches because additionally, I'm looking at storage options here in the library, but also I need solutions, and I think this case is going to be really good for it because they're like $100 for when I travel. So like I'm going to be in Louisville, or I'm putting together a watch meetup in Louisville the weekend of May 19th. So, and I'm going to rent a conference room. There'll be security and stuff too there. So you have to be invited. You can't just show up. And that'll be a good way for me to lug the darn things around because I'm going to be hauling like 150 to 200 watches. So, and that'll be a very good way to transport them versus how I was trying to do it before. So there's a lot of logistics involved with it. So I'm still learning, and then again, like I said, how it's gonna work. But Floridian, yeah. I mean that. What is the point of me? Because I can't wear all these, and a lot of them I don't wear to begin with. So the I think part of the building the library is for people to see them. So I will make them accessible at some point. We will do some sort of, right now the meetups are private and for the Discord members. But I can see a time in the future where I arrange a space where people can bring watches, kind of like you got the wind up show and Microlux and everything like that. And that's for the brands to do it. But what about people like you and I, that we have stuff that are not at those shows, that we've sourced through hunting or just randomly stumbling across them, and we do like to share them, kind of like a red bar meetup or something, which I've never been to, but on a more grand scale. And yeah, Fed, it could be 100%. It could be a watch swap meet as well. 100%. Straps, accessories, tools, watches, all of that. So that's big picture stuff. That's way down the road. There's no way I can do that right now. But 100%, I think we're on the same wavelength here. We could develop a venue where there's booths, instead of being where you pay for the booths, maybe there's just a cover charge to get in. I don't know which way works better. A lot of that is, I have no clue how that works. But essentially, there would be thousands of watches there of all different kinds, and it would be just insane. James says, oh, yeah, I'd buy a table and set up at the Random Rob show. So, yeah, that's kind of what maybe the future might hold of this project that we're doing. I want to do something different than anyone else is doing. No one else is doing anything like this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing something different. And I hope it will resonate with the community. Let's see here. The Invicta cases are great. I have one that holds 12 and it's built great. The one that holds the 50, I could see where metal bracelets would probably get scratched and everything, so I have to figure out a way to store them a little bit better. What do you value your personal collection at? I don't. I don't have that number. I honestly couldn't tell you. And I don't know that I'm ever going to sit down and add that up. I did that before. And when I did that, I ended up looking at that list and going, I could sell all these and I could buy a Rolex. Well, that's what I ended up doing. So I don't really want to sit down and figure that number out. That information really isn't valuable to me, and it'll be a distraction. I like what I like, and they cost what they cost. That is just the way it goes. Floyd says he thinks a tattoo might be required for a membership. Well, I do know a few professional tattoo artists that we could probably also have at the swap meet or something. So there could be, a whiskey bar in the corner. You could have the swap meet going on. There could be a tattoo venue. We could mix it up. There could be some crazy stuff going on. B&M says, I know a great place in Brighton to rent out. We might do that. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves though. We got to baby step this, but I think it might work. We just have to do it right. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back here. I thought I seen, what do you value the collection at? Okay, no, I think I covered everything. Random Rob. Oh, Nilo says Random Rob brand watches. That's something I really don't have an ambition to do. I do have, you guys have already seen them. I do have this one. Well, I have more than just this one, but peanut butter and jelly Zelo. Oh, that's a good idea, Floridian. I need to actually reach out to Elshin because we had talked about doing a Random Rob limited edition a while ago, and we just kind of dropped off on that. But I did make this one with Borealis, and there's a second. Hold on, I gotta read this. Eric says, "Oh, Rob, sipping a pecan praline bourbon tonight. That sounds good." So this was my first limited edition Random Rob watch, and I did it with Borealis. I've been talking to Carlos for years. I felt it was appropriate for me to work with Borealis initially, so I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out. So much so that I designed another watch through him, and that's I think there's maybe like a couple of them left. So if you go over to Borealis's website, there is another. I think it's a Sea Storm that's coming out pretty soon. Very interesting colorway. It's not going to be for everybody, but there is another limited edition one. And then I'm working with, this doesn't need to be a secret, but I am working with Notice, and I presented a design. Wes and Cullen are working on a rendering with my specifications of the watch. I will say it is a Notice Retrospect 3. And it's going to be a very interesting colorway and design. So if we can make that happen, that potentially might happen in 2023 with Notice. But other than that, I had talked with Zodiac, and they were receptive to my idea, but they can't do what I really wanted to do, so I'm not going to move forward with that one. So Kevin Powell, no, the watch isn't orange, but there will be orange in it. So, all right. So we're over 60 minutes. I think we had a good conversation. I feel like I did most of the talking, guys. So maybe we do need to get some people on the show so I can take a break with the talking and you guys can talk. I know we had conversation back and forth with me answering questions, but like literally talking, again, maybe that's something we do in the future. Maybe some of you guys that are in the chat right now that you don't want to be on camera and you're afraid of this and everything, like I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think. I think we get you on camera and we do some live shows maybe later on this year. Okay, let's kill the light and check the loom. Let's check the loom because we do have some good loom watches. You know what? No real massive standouts. What is this? Well, Seiko's always showing off. And of course we do have, what is this? What the heck is this? Oh, this is that Stratton. Stratton's pretty cool. The Breitling's doing well. Notice always crushes it. Let's see. The Islander does pretty good. Zelos does good, of course. The Islander looks good. Zelos always crushes it with loom. That's interesting. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm getting distracted already. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Look at the Zodiacs. Zodiacs, I'm telling you guys, the Zodiac Pros are just awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next vid.